Hello, it's Mari Smith here, and I wanted to record a short video to share with you my video gear. 3 questions I get asked all the time is what camera are you using, what lights are you using, and what microphone are you using in order to stream like a pro on Zoom or Facebook Live or wherever you like to stream, YouTube, LinkedIn, you name it, or even to just record. So I have put together all the gear in an Amazon shop and then also in an Excel spreadsheet. I have it set out for you in a spreadsheet. If I just show you my Chrome here. So this is the Amazon shop. Of course, full disclosure, it's affiliates. Affiliate links in here. I have everything in the Mari Smith video gear. But then I also have what I use is a Sony a6000, which is an older model. So I want you to get a newer one if you're going to go Sony. But less expensive is actually a Panasonic. And so I'll show you that one on my sheet. And then if you want to keep the cost real low or lower, then you can do Logitech. So a Logitech Brio, and it's just a webcam. That is a webcam that will do just fine. It won't quite get what you see right here is a 50 millimeter lens and that depth of field. So a webcam or your built-in camera tends to make everything in focus. So people always ask me, how do you blur the background at? Is that your real background? You can even see when I put my hand back there, it's kind of goes like that soft focus, that depth of field, which you get with a DSLR camera. Now you can't just get a camera and plug it in because I'm going to show you the gear that you need, the adapter and the capture device, as well as the cables. And most important is you want to be able to stream beyond 30 minutes, which is usually the life of the battery. You don't want to stream ever with a DSLR camera with battery. You get this magic little AC adapter, super duper easy to use. I'll show you my spreadsheet right here. I tried to make it as simple as I could and just laid it all out. Make sure that you have this. So that first package you'll see for about $1,300, and you can swap some of these things out, but basically what you need is a camera. That's the Panasonic Lumix. It's only $434 for the body. Now these prices might, depending on as of time of recording, these are accurate, but sometimes Amazon fluctuates and you can just use it as a guide. You can get with the Panasonic, I'm recommending the 20mm lens, which works just fine. There's that power adapter. If I hop back over to my Chrome and click in, you'll see, we'll dig into the Panasonic kit. I call them kit. You have to order them individually, of course, but that's the power adapter right here. So it's the right one for that camera. What happens is this little doodad goes right into where the battery is. You pull the battery out and you put that in and you plug it in. And then what you also need is back over here, this little, it's called a HDMI capture device. So you need to be able to go from USB to HDMI into your camera, and that's what this cable does here. That's only $6 for that guy. The price of the cam link really went up because of COVID. Everybody was buying that. And you'll probably need a tripod for your camera, and you'll need some lights. So the lights can vary. I use basically a ring light. So I have my camera sits behind the ring light, and it is about 4 or 5 feet away from me, and then I have some depth of field behind me, right? So it's about 4 or 5 feet behind me. So you do need to have a little bit of backlight. You totally could just be on a plain wall, brick or tile, or you could put some things in the background so that when you put your 20mm or 50mm lens, it gives it that nice soft focus and you can see there's things back there. Don't be afraid to get a window behind you. You'll hear often people say, turn your desk to make sure that the window, the light, especially right now, as of time of this recording, the sun is just right there on my window. So, but because if you have good lighting, a ring light in front or some light in front, a good light in front, and then 2 side lights. I call that 3-point lighting. Bing, bing, bing. And the real key is you want people to see the light reflected in your eyes when you make eye contact with the camera. I definitely recommend you have it above eye level. Mine is probably maybe as high as 18 inches. You don't need to go that high, but that's just, I was trying to capture the scene. I tend to have this blank wall here. So then post-production, when I'm recording videos or streaming, we could add some, B-roll right there or some text overlay. Of course, you can text overlay can go down under here. I'm a fan of keeping my microphone as out of the frame as I can. You'll see some folks put this giant mic and the big boom is like right in their frame, but it's all just going to be a personal choice. Let me just go back to my spreadsheet here. And so this would be one package right there. You can see there's a tripod, very inexpensive. You do need that capture device, that little HDMI USB gizmo, and then the cable and mics. There's so many different varieties of mics. I do have this separate mic. I think I might have it down here for you under these are alternatives. So these are just different ones you could get. Yeah, actually it's not there, but I do have it on my Amazon store. If I go back to the full gear list, there's so much stuff in here. That's why I made these different kits, because it was too much to just say, oh, help yourself to everything you see in here. I just put all kinds of recommendations. But the one that I have is this guy right here. Is a Heil PR 40. It's a $400 mic, so it's pretty pricey. And then it has the shock mount and all of that. And it's also XLR, so you need an adapter for that. It's like, you don't need to go that fancy. You really don't. The one I'm recommending in all the kits there is the Rode. If I can just find that little guy right here. Well, hang on. I'll go back to the actual kit and go into my Panasonic. And it's this guy right here. He's only $100, and he'll just like sit right and plug into the audio jack of your camera. And if you want to get a ring light and maybe only just 2 of these side lights, then that's fine. There's a whole variety of different side lights that you can get. And I've given you a number of different alternatives. But so, for example, this would be one kit right here. That's your Panasonic. And yeah, and I have them on different tabs, DSLR camera. So that's one possible package with the Panasonic. Right next to it is the Sony. So you can see the difference in price. It's about $500 more to do this package. And this is the one similar to what I have with the camera. Although I put that down there, this A6000, it has the only thing, see, because I put that right there, it has no standard mic input. So you do need the USB mic. But the newer cameras, and I think they even have an A6700, and you don't need the whole full-on kit unless you intend to use the camera, the DSLR camera, to take regular photos, because you will need to do that. But you can always get another lens after if you wanted to. But for right now, just get the body and then the 50mm lens. I'm not kidding. We call this the Nifty 50. The Nifty 50 is really tight shot. It doesn't have a zoom, and that's what gives that beautiful depth of field. Now here's really the sun coming. I can see that it's going to cast little shadows, but it's still working just fine, and it's not a problem to be backlit, like I say, when you've got the good front light. And there's your power adapter that goes with the Sony. Also same tripod. I think I'll have to check. Is that the same? Yeah, I need to adjust that price because it's the same link. Yeah, same thing. You need that capture device, the cable, same mic. And then your lighting pack. But if you wanted to, there's a variety of different alternatives. There's a much cheaper alternative to the HDMI capture device. I don't know if it works as well. You might just want to get that as a backup, and some different microphones. I've seen some great reviews for this. Let me just click on this one here. It's called a Fifine. Don't know how to pronounce it. Let me click on that and switch over to my Chrome. And so this is pretty nifty, friends. For $62, you get the this arm. It clips on the side of your desk. It even has a nice little pop filter. I saw some great reviews. I mean, 7,500 ratings at 4.5 stars. So that, save your money. Don't splurge like I did years ago in getting this fancy mic. So that's a good one to get right there. Okay. And then I usually say, because for right now, if you're using your built-in mic and your built-in camera, and maybe you're sitting in front of a window, then possibly the first thing to get might be the mic. So for example, you could just grab this mic, and if your lighting is fine, but then make sure you get the lighting. The camera might be the last thing you get. It just depends, or you just kind of go all in. And get the whole thing. I've given you a variety of different types of lights. I do like the ring light. The one with the remote's a little bit more. It's only 146 though. Let me show you that guy. See how they've set. You can do it with your phone, or your DSLR camera can sit right in there, and so it does have a dimmable. You can turn it up or down brightness depending on what's happening with your ambient light, of course, and with it having a remote control, so you're sitting here looking, and you don't have to just keep getting up and down and trying to tweak the lighting. Okie dokie. I actually don't have the adjustable one. Mine just is on. All right, what else do I have for you? A few other bits and bobs that you might find useful. Oops, I'll go back to the Excel. Some accessories, because I'm teaching a class. I teach classes all the time, and this is one of them. I have one that's called Go Live with Mari Smith, and I teach exactly how to set this all up and how to stream and how to get more reach on your Facebook Lives. Some folks want a teleprompter, or some people like a green screen, right? So like the teleprompter, it just depends. It depends if you're wanting to do more scripted videos. Then this little guy is pretty nifty just for the phone, or you can go real fancy and spend quite a bit of money on a fancy teleprompter if you want. And then I will turn you on to this. This is an investment. I have used this mouse for probably 10 years, and I was having incredible discomfort in my wrists. My mom has actually had surgery in both her wrists for carpal tunnel, and I could feel my wrists every day as I type. I mean, I trained as a touch typist in my school years and using a mouse all day and typing and whatnot, and I was getting extreme pain. So I hired an ergonomic consultant to come to my home office many, many years back, invested quite a bit, and got my whole setup. And one of the most profound things I learned from this professional ergonomic specialist was this mouse. This guy, I'll show you. It's called a roller mouse. It takes a little bit of getting used to it, but you will probably never go back to a regular mouse. And I have a number of these guys, and I tell everybody I know about them, because instead of your hand having to go splayed out to the side, right? Because you know how a regular mouse, you're going out here. Now you're hurting your shoulder and your elbow and your wrist and everything. Show it like out there like that. Put my arm up high so you can see it. But down here in the desk, instead your hands are just comfortably. If I show you back to my Chrome there, if I zoom in on this, I think, yeah. So that little guy in the middle, that's how you move. Like and then this is the roller, but so I'm just moving that right now, and your wrist is set neatly on here. This is a brilliant mouse. I know we're talking about video gear, but I added the mouse because if you're in front of your desk and you're doing all these broadcasts, it really, really helps. Okay, so 2 packages there, the Panasonic and the Sony. And then, it goes all the way down to here because you got your microphone and your lights. And then you got some alternatives just in, if you want some different mics or lights or whatever. Then at the tabs on the bottom, then the kind of the next step down, if you don't want to go the DSLR route, would be, if I zoom that up a bit for you now, I've got more space. I'm calling this just the webcam kit. And the Logitech Brio it is $200, but it's a very, very good webcam. It comes with software. You can adjust the lighting. It's a pretty good investment for a couple $100. Of course, it's a smaller lens. You don't quite get that depth of field and the nice kind of crisp focus, but it's really, really good. You actually even has some. It's a bit like how Zoom has that. Zoom has touch up your appearance. This one has little settings in there. You can really enhance your appearance, and you can blur the background a little bit. So Logitech Brio is a great webcam, and to keep the cost nice and reasonable and affordable. And I just threw in that mic I showed you that comes as a whole kit, $62 there. Maybe get a dimmable ring light and a couple of side lights. So, depending, maybe if you've got lights already, you're golden, but that's a nice, inexpensive way to go. Now, let's say the third tab along the bottom is your phone, because that's actually kind of the base level that I tell my clients to start with is, gosh, don't invest in fancy equipment. Just go with your phone for right now. So you got your phone. You probably want to get a case. This is a nifty little company, or a big company that I've been working with. Let me say nifty little, but nifty little device from my good friend Dave here, who started a company called Iographer. Tons and tons of great gear for mobile and cases and little tripods and all kinds of things. So when you put your phone in the case, now you can attach things to it. See this? See, you can attach a light and attach a microphone, and you've got your full-on mobile studio for very, very inexpensive. Wonderful if you're ever going out and recording, in the field. This actually has like the little screw for the tripod, so you could totally use it at home to do your Facebook Lives or your Zooms or whatever you're doing. And you will want a little bit of lighting. You can put a light right onto that case. There's that Rode mic. If you have an iPhone, you'll need the adapter. And there's a couple alternatives for the lights and for mics. So I'll make sure you have all these links to the different kits on my Amazon store. But, for a couple $100, you can just enhance what you already have on your phone and choose, whoopsie daisy, come back to my store, and choose any one of these different, upgrades, and just take a surf through my full-on video gear. If you want all kinds of ideas in there, like there's different kinds of lights, from two-side lights, different mics. This is a nifty little audio shield, that acoustic foam that goes around your mic if it's a real kind of echoey place. There's like tiny little selfie light things, and even monitors if you need an extra monitor. So if you have any questions, if I can be of any help whatsoever with your live streaming needs, you just let me know. I love doing this. Part of my background is I was painfully shy as a child. I couldn't stand speaking up and having to read aloud in class, and I was very soft spoken, and like many public speakers and trainers and presenters, just practice. And definitely I went to Toastmasters, and then when I immigrated from Scotland to California in '99, I discovered speaking circles. I absolutely loved speaking circles, and I started to develop more confidence, and just in my 20s really did a lot of speaking. And then I just loved the camera. I loved doing camera work, and to be able to communicate and impart our message, and especially in today's times when we're so much more virtual with these technologies, it's just extraordinary. So having that confidence, keeping the practice up, making great eye contact with the camera, looking past the camera lens as if you're looking into the eyes of your audience, one person at a time, no different than being up on stage or in a meeting or conference where you're talking to a group of people. As far as software, if you're streaming on Facebook, I'll make sure you have these links too. I am actually recording this using a software called Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live for Macs. That one's for Macs only. You can stream on Facebook and or YouTube, or just do a straight recording. And you can do all these different scenes. You saw there when I was switching back and forth where I've got myself in a little circle. You can do so many different things, bring on guests, interview them. But if you have a PC and you have a Zoom account, just use Zoom to broadcast on Facebook. Or you could use StreamYard. A lot of you might have heard of StreamYard. They just got acquired by Hopin. Hopin is like Zoom, but it's only like a year and a half old. Extremely successful startup. So StreamYard is a great choice, or there's BeLive. Some folks use OBS, not to confuse with all the different choices. But I'll make sure you have the resources. If I can be of any service, you just let me know. And happy streaming, happy connecting with your audience through the joys of tech. Much love. Bye for now.